it's story time again. Hey, remember I told you I had some fun holiday stories for the holidays we'll be celebrating this week? Some of us are celebrating Easter, so I read you the story about Max and the chocolate chicken. This is called the Matzo Ball Boy. Some people celebrate Passover. It's a spring holiday that Jewish people celebrate. And at Passover, one of the traditional meals that they eat is matzo ball soup. And it's delicious if you've never had it. Matzo balls are fluffy round balls made of matzah meal. And matzah meal is kind of like either wheat or corn. And it's kind of like a meatball, but it's not made with meat. And it's made with eggs and oil and matzah meal. And they roll it into a ball and plop it into the soup. And when it cooks, it's delicious. So this is called the matzo ball boy. You see him? He's made of a round matzo ball body and a round matzo ball head. And here's the little old lady. You guys remember the little old lady and the little old man who made the gingerbread boy? This book is written by Lisa Schulman and it's illustrated by Roseanne Litzinger. So let's hear the story of the matzo ball boy. Once upon a time, there was an old grandmother, a bubby, who lived all alone. She lived in a cottage at the edge of a small village in a far-off country whose name sounded like a sneeze. Her children were grown with children of their own. But could they be bothered to visit their mother? Not that she was complaining, but she couldn't help feeling a little bit lonely. Soon Passover would be here, and there was no one to come to her Seder, the holiday dinner. No one to help retell the Passover story. No one to eat her sweet apple and walnut harisset and sip her delicious matzo ball soup. Aw. So what do you think she's going to do? So the morning of Passover, the bubby decided to make herself a matzo ball boy. A friendly face in her soup was better than nothing at all. She mixed matzah meal with eggs, oil, salt, and water. From the dough, she shaped a soft little body and a round matzo ball head. She gave him a carrot slice for a nose, a curvy celery mouth, and peppercorn eyes and buttons. She plopped him into a pot of chicken soup to cook. Soon the most delicious smells wafted from the bubbling pot. When the old woman lifted the lid to see if the matzo ball boy was done, what happened? Out he jumped. "Oi!" she cried in surprise. "And where do you think you're going, my little matzo ball boy?" The matzo ball boy puffed out his soft little chest. "Boy schmoy, I'm the matzo ball man, Bubby, and I'm off to see the world." Then he ran out the door, leaving smears of schmaltz, which is chicken fat, all over her freshly cleaned floor. Not that she minded a little work, but would it have hurt him to wipe his feet before he left? "Wait, wait!" cried the old woman, running after him. "Put on a jacket or you'll catch your death of cold." But the matzo ball boy just laughed and kept on running. He called back over his shoulder, "Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the matzo ball man." The old bubby ran as fast as she could, but she couldn't catch him. The matzo ball boy ran on and on through the village. As he passed the tailor shop, the Schneider, he put his last stitch into the rabbi's good coat, which he was patching for Passover, then rubbed his stomach. "Oi, oi, you look good enough to eat, little matzo ball boy." But the matzo ball boy just laughed and kept on running. He called back over his shoulder, "I've run away from my bubby, and I can run away from you too. So run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the matzo ball man." The Schneider and the old bubby ran as fast as they could, but they couldn't catch him. The matzo ball boy ran on and on. Soon he passed the Yenta, the village gossip, and her 10 children coming home from the market with apples, nuts, and bitter herbs for their Seder. The Yenta dropped her basket and cried, "Oi, oi, you look good enough to eat, little matzo ball boy." But the matzo ball boy just laughed and kept on running. He called back over his shoulder, "I've run away from my bubby and the Schneider, and I can run away from you too." And then, just to show off, he repeated, "Run, run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the matzo ball man." He did it 11 times. one for each child and one for the Yenta. The Yenta, her children, the Schneider, and the old Bubby ran as fast as they could, but they couldn't catch that matzo ball boy. Then the matzo ball boy ran faster than ever. It wasn't long before he came to the rabbi on his way home from temple. The rabbi licked his lips and said, "Oi, oi, you look good enough to eat, matzo ball boy." They want to eat him just like the gingerbread man, right? But the matzo ball boy just laughed and kept on running. He called back over his shoulder, "I've run away from my Bubby, the Schneider, the Yenta, and her children, and I can run away from you too. So run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the matzo ball man." The rabbi, the Yenta, and her children, the Schneider, and the old Bubby ran as fast as they could, but they couldn't catch him. Uh-oh, we know this character from our stories. The matzo ball boy ran on and on until he came to the edge of a wide river. He could hear the others behind him getting closer and closer. Oy vey, so now I have to cross a river too? The matzo ball boy slapped his forehead. "I'll never see the world at this rate. If you'd care to climb on my back, I'll take you across," said a voice as smooth as Schmaltz. Who wants to help him? The fox. Does the fox really want to help him? The matzo ball boy turned to find a hungry fox grinning at him. "Ha! You must think I'm a real schlemiel," said the matzo ball boy. "Do you think I don't know that old trick? First you get me on your back, then on your head, then on your nose, and then I'm nothing more than a nosh for lunch." The fox smiled a toothy grin. "I can hear the others getting even closer now. Do you plan to stay here and wait for them?" "Not on your life, boy chick," the matzo ball boy laughed. "Ha! For someone who came from a pot of hot soup, this river will be a refreshing change. I'm not made of gingerbread, you know. Me, I'm going for a swim." And with that, the matzo ball boy jumped into the river and began swimming across. The fox jumped in too, but after only a few strokes, he saw he would never catch up with that quick little matzo ball boy. He turned back, grumbling about his cold feet. When the matzo ball boy reached the far shore, he looked back and saw the dripping fox, the rabbi, the Yenta and her children, the Schneider and the old Bubby, standing on the other side calling out, "Oi, oi, come back, little matzo ball boy." But the matzo ball boy laughed and he said, "Swim, swim, swim as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the matzo ball man." And since none of the others could swim, except for the fox, who pretended he no longer cared, they turned away and began the long walk back to town. The old Bubby was the last to leave. "So, go, have a good time," she called. "Not that I'm complaining, but is this the thanks I get for bringing you up from a little bit of dough?" The matzo ball boy watched them go, and then, having nothing better to do, set off through the forest that lined the river's edge. It began to grow dark and cold, and soon the hungry and tired matzo ball boy felt he could walk no farther. Just then, he came upon a poor man dressed in rags. The matzo ball boy was about to run away when the man said kindly, "Oi, you need something good to eat, little matzo ball boy." The matzo ball boy nodded tiredly. "I've run away from my Bubby, the Schneider, the Yenta and her children, the rabbi and a fox, and I could run away from you too, if I wanted to. Of course, I wouldn't refuse an offer of a good meal and a soft bed." The matzo ball boy looked expectantly at the man. "No one should be alone and hungry on Passover," said the man. "Come home with me. Our food is simple and our cottage is small, but you're welcome to join the meal." So the matzo ball boy followed the poor man through the forest until they came to a tiny cottage, hardly any bigger than a shack. Is the matzo ball boy making a good choice? I don't know. Let's see. Candlelight glowed warmly from the windows, and a fire crackled cheerily in the grate. The man's wife sat by the fire, stirring a big pot of soup. The most delicious smell wafted from the pot, reminding the matzo ball boy of something, though he couldn't think of what. "Welcome," said the woman with a smile. Come in," said the man. The matzo ball boy took a step inside. "Don't just stand there by the door where it's cold," said the man. "Come nearer to the fire and warm yourself." He held his hands out to the dancing flames and sighed. Ah, the matzo ball boy drew closer to the fire, and its heat made him drowsy and relaxed. He became very sleepy. "The soup will be ready soon," said the mother. She tasted a spoonful, then shook her head in disappointment. "It seems a bit thin tonight. I can't tell what else it needs. Can you?" She held out the spoon to the matzo ball boy, who took it and leaned over the pot to scoop up a taste. And just then, what do you think happens? Well, who's to say what happened? Perhaps he fell in, perhaps he was pushed. All we know is that the poor man and his hungry wife had a delicious meal of matzo ball soup that night. What? You were maybe expecting a different ending? So that is the story of the matzo ball boy, a lot like the gingerbread man stories we read. Now, let me ask you, did the matzo ball boy get eaten? Like some of the gingerbread men we talked about? I think he did. I think he ended up in the soup. Yeah. But he did feed a very hungry and poor family on Passover. So I guess he did a good deed, right? So that's my Passover story. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a wonderful holiday no matter what you celebrate.